Hello, Targar friends. Hey, everybody. It's Jason Blaha here, and once again, it's time for another Orc Mode workout. Today was max effort lower day. Tough workout. Happy with the single though, at least on the first lift. So just a reminder, if you guys would please reach down there though and click like, help me keep those likes higher than the dislikes. It would be greatly appreciated. Reach down there and do that. This one looked a little squirrely at first, the 502. If anyone wondered why I cut it a little high, it felt like a warm-up. And it was, because I was just doing one plate at a time. I basically did 3 reps with the empty bar, did a rep with 1 plate, a rep with 2 plates, 3 plates, 4 plates. The 502 was like my 7th rep of the day. I realized I could go to 552 from there. So I loaded it up, sank it nice and deep. For people who are curious how I determine depth, I use my foot spacing and I sink to the bottom. I sink to the deepest depth that foot stance allows for, and we pick our foot stance based upon what we can break parallel with. Pretty straightforward. Felt good. Was it an all-out true max? No. It's pretty close. Like a couple of people said, you could have got 2 or 3. There's no way I could have done a triple. Not even remotely imaginable. Not yet. A double would have been pretty grindy, I think. That was at least 95%. Conservatively, I might have had 10 to 15 more pounds. Okay. Good starting point, 552. We'll work up from here. So, good mornings just didn't happen today. And part of it is that my shoulders do still have a little bit of irritation at some angles, so I needed to be careful working this bar back in. Ramping up on the good mornings with the singles, my shoulder is just hard to get it in position. I couldn't get it into a good low bar spot. I'm doing it high bar on this. I just could not get into a good position, and I'm really not strong enough to groove this where I want it to with this barbell. I can do it with the other bar, right? I can do it with the cambered bar, but I can set that in a better spot on my back. And it just has to do with my shoulder position. So realistically, even the 462, I'm going to say this was not quite a good rep. I'm just going to mark 412 for my max for today. And that's okay. I need to work a good mornings back up. I probably need to do the bar that's easiest on my shoulders. And I can move some big weight with and go back and mess with my cambered bar more. So we've hit 535 on that. You guys have watched me rep out like 450 for reps. This just wasn't happening. I'm okay with that. Like, my back was fatigued already from the squats. This angle and this lever with this bar, I just don't quite have the strength to get up into the 400s with it. I've done it with a low bar on this before quite some time back. I'm just not strong enough to high bar this one with any respectable weight. I'm just not. We don't make excuses. People will say stuff like, well, he was out of his... No, I don't like those sort of excuses. Had I been stronger, I would have got it. How's that? And I will say my shoulders were getting pretty uncomfortable into these positions. Like even this one, I just felt like I couldn't get everything set right. And I had to kind of do a little bit of work to loosen my shoulders back up before the squat back off work. But I just re-racked that one. I felt that one. I said, you know what? I started to go down. I can't do this. Nope, not strong enough. Let's just rack it. Call it. Sometimes you got to take a knee, guys. You got to know when to quit. I got a good squat in today, so I said, well, let me do my squat work. I did 472 for 3x3, and this kind of will tell people when you watch it, these are actually challenging. These are hard. These are not easy triples. Oh, me just coming in and having 3 reps in reserve. Nope. I probably have a rep in reserve on each of these. Good challenging work sets, and yes, my volume is going to be a little lower on some of these lower body days because I'm a little more bench specialized. We're going to keep that squat and everything climbing. I got to pull my deadlifts back up and kind of get my back caught back up. It's detrained a bit. We'll get there, but the name of the game is really going to be things like upper back. Bit more glute. I really felt my glutes here in a bit when I was trying to mess with the sumo deadlifts. But I need to get good mornings worked back into these heavy. It's just been a matter of kind of getting into the rotation, handling the heavy squatting and doing pulling and stuff all the time. a little bit of work capacity and recovery I'm having to work around. Okay, and people notice like, man, your work capacity is ultra high on all that pressing. Yeah, but that kind of uses up my work capacity because I got to come do lower body the next day, and I can't handle really high workloads. Yeah, I mean it's high in terms of tension, but getting too many work sets is just not there. That's because I'm doing a lot of axial loading. But we're getting quality movements, and I think I need to stick with the bars I can really move real weight on. It's going to be this Buffalo bar, the cambered bar, because we do need to get in and move some heavy squats. Okay, if we max on a squat and do 3 good work sets afterwards every week, we get 4 quality sets twice a week. You factor in all the other work I'm doing, the GPP, which I've taken a few days off from, we'll start working it back in. Need to recover from that cold. Factor all that in, that's actually a pretty decent amount of lower body volume. And I can grow off of this. And I want to make that clear. I have never needed particularly high volumes to grow my quads or to get a really, really strong squat. Okay, I need a respectable amount. You know what? A max in 3 work sets is a respectable amount. Then we factor in that we do a little bit of supplemental work. Squats and deadlifts are supplemental work for each other. Start pushing the good mornings back up a bit. All right? Yeah, that's kind of the thing. People are like, well, I feel like your squats regressed. Yeah, it has. Not my squat, my deadlift. It's regressed a bit. It was middle and upper back weakness. I've let it detrain a bit, and I need to bring all that back up because we can see even on my squatting, I can stand to get all that stronger again. So we're going to train it. And also keeping in mind the shoulder has caused a lot of that. Keeping in mind as I'm rehabbing that shoulder, it's hard to get good back work in. Now we're hitting all the chins and everything hard, and you'll see the other stuff I'm working in today. We can hit all that real hard. That'll help, but we need to just do more pulling too. So the sumos, I just wanted to do some heavy singles to do 515 on. And yeah, I know that's not even my max right now on a sumo. And I'm terrible at sumos. Sumos are easy to recover from relative to the conventional. Sumo increases my conventional. You guys saw that before. I spent like a year working sumo, no real conventional, walk in, start PRing my conventional. It ended up being stronger than my sumo from doing sumo work and good mornings and rowing and all that. And all the chins and stuff I was doing. But squatting and back work in general tends to build my conventional. Okay. I pulled 455 the first time I ever conventional deadlifted in my life. I already had a 405 squat, and I did a lot of pull-ups at the time. That by itself got me to a 455 deadlift without ever having done the lift, and I broke 500 real fast. So we know that's what I need to do. I will say though on these sumos, like my glutes, and it could be that I did all the squatting first, but as I was ramping up, I felt my glutes cramp. I had to stop and massage my right glute. My glutes were really giving out. And it makes sense. I suck off the bottom real bad on sumos, right? Well, that tends to be glute. So we know we need more of that, and we need more upper back work. So I did some hang pulls. I did these without straps today. That did make the grip a little more challenging, especially with this bar. And I just did 4 triples with a respectable heavy weight. I need to get stuff like this back into the rotation. People say, well, why the hang pulls instead of the snatch grip? I'll probably be able to move a heavier weight through a longer range of motion on these over time. We can argue about, well, a little more rear delt and stuff with the snatch grip, and that's fine. This will just put more potential meat overall up there. Let's bring that back up. Okay, it's a nice explosive lift. Now it's going to take me a little bit to get the technique down. It'll probably be more powerful when I strap up because the grip feels a little slippery with a double overhand on that. And I'll start using my figure 8 straps and start ramping these up. But I need to hit all those shoulders from the different angles. That's a lot of how we continue to rehab that shoulder. It's going to be me pressing from 3 or 4 different angles. Me pulling from different angles. I need to get these higher angle stuff. I need to get the chins in. Okay, we need to keep that shoulder healthy. And if we want to keep it healthy, need to use a lot of specialty bars when doing squatting and stuff so that I don't overstress it. I need to make sure I'm working everything from different angles. Okay, that's real physical therapy is not a lot of the nonsense people promote. Oh, we do this little light corrective exercises. It doesn't do a whole hell of a lot. You need to get strong at all the different angles. That's how we rebuild and protect ourselves from injury. Hey, if you get strong at different pulls and angles, it will build a lot more protection into the shoulders. So we'll do more of these. And I might do some of them where I do hang pulls like this. I might mess with some high pulls straight from the floor all the way up. You know, we'll mess with different stuff. I might eventually throw in some cleans or whatever. I need to just work on that upper back. Nice, big, powerful movements to do it. And I'll work more and more of that in to complement the chins. Because people had said, you know, why are you doing the chins? You're not running. Well, I'm going to do other upper back stuff. Then we did our reverse hypers. A quick 3x25 of 500. Tremendous pump in the low back. And I feel quite a bit in my glutes. Obviously my hamstring and stuff too. Again, this is more restorative than anything at this point, because this is ultra lightweight for me to just rep out. And I'm trying to stop it at the bottom so that I'm not letting it swing so far forward that I can see it, which is what you want to avoid. And again, just getting that traction on the low back. And it feels phenomenal. In fact, when I started doing these, like after I had pulled that back the last week while doing the loaded carries, so again, farmer's walks, I'm going to need to belt up. I need to belt up for them from now on. You guys see my handles right there already loaded up? Right, you see the two reds on there plus the handle weight. So that's 110 in each hand plus the handles. That starts to add up as far as compressive stress when you're walking with it. So I need to belt up for that. But this, every time I did a set of these, it just makes any cramping or pain go away immediately. And part of what I did just to kind of rehab that, I kind of left this thing loaded up a little bit last week and this weekend. And every time I felt any twinge in that low back, I'd do a set of this. It would go away for an hour. Love my reverse hyper. Love my reverse hyper. Worth every penny. So again, you guys see though we have a game plan with what we're doing with the squatting and the pulling. Bring everything back up. Going to put a heavier focus on the squats. Obviously, we'll start working more sumo and conventional pulls back in. Start bringing all that back up. Bring in the back work for all of it. Try to work a good mornings back in, but I'm going to really hammer squats for a bit. We need to crack that 600 squat. It needs to happen this year. And deadlift can be along for the ride. As long as I get my grip and upper back strong, if I get the 600 squat, my deadlift will tend to just fall into place. I can always deadlift 50 pounds more than I squat, no matter what. Like almost no matter what I do with my training, as long as I can grip it. So we're going to put a little more squat focus, even though we're going to be bench specialized for a while and pressing specialized, because it's a bigger goal to reach. But we're going to get there, so I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.